Alright, getting to it. Chapter 9. Still want more? Here are some to-dos. Many people may not be satisfied with my 10 steps. They see them more as philosophies than actions. I think understanding the philosophy is just as important as the action. There are many people who want to do instead of think, and there are people who think but do not do. I would say that I am both. I love new ideas and I love action. So for those who want the to-do list on how to get started, I will share with you some of the things I do in abbreviated form. Yeah, I love to think. I'm need to work on my to-do, right, on my action. So this is good. Here we go. Stop doing what you're doing. In other words, take a break and assess what it is you're working, what is not working. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Stop doing what is not working and look for something new. Look for new ideas. For new investing ideas, I go to bookstores and search for books on different and unique subjects. I call them formulas. I buy how-to books on formulas I know nothing about. For example, I go to the bookstore and I found the book The 16% Solution by Joel Moskowitz. I bought the book and read it, and next Thursday, I did exactly as the book said. Most people do not take action, nor they let someone else talk them out of whatever the new formula they are studying. My neighbor told me that my 16% would not work. I did not listen to him because he's never done it. Next bullet point. Find someone who has done what you want to do. Take them to lunch and ask them for tips and tricks for the trade. As for the 16% tax lien certificates, I went to the county tax office and found the government employee who worked in the office. I found out that she too invested in the tax liens. Immediately, I invited her to lunch. She was thrilled to tell me everything she knew about and how to do it. After lunch, she spent all afternoon showing me everything, but the next day I found 2 great properties with her help that had been accruing interest at 16% ever since. It took a day to read the book, a day to take action, and an hour for lunch, and a day to acquire 2 great deals. Take classes, read, and attend seminars. I search newspapers and the internet for new and interesting classes, many of which are free or inexpensive. I also attend and pay for expensive seminars on what I want to learn. I'm wealthy and free from needing a job simply because of the courses I took. I have friends who did not take those classes who told me I was wasting my money, and yet they're still at the same job. Next bullet point, make lots of offers. When I want a piece of real estate, I look at many properties and generally write an offer. If you do not know what the right offer is, neither do I. That is the job of the real estate agent. They make the offers. I do as little work as possible. I mean, if you're a small-time investor, you can't just go to the real estate broker and say, hey, find me something. It's like, you have to know that the money that you will sink into it will pencil out for you. Like, you can't put that weight on the real estate agent. The agent can say, here's a property, here's a property, here's a property, but you have to decide that property will pencil, that property won't, there's too much work in it, that's cosmetic, so that's, you still gotta do something. Anyway, I was about to take a sip here. A friend wanted me to show her how to buy apartment houses. So one Saturday, she, her agent, and I went and looked at 6 apartment houses. 4 were dogs, but 2 were good. I said write an offer on all 6, offering half of what the owner has asked for. She went to the agent and nearly had heart attacks. They thought it was rude and would be offended. So when you do write an offer under, it's best to tell the other agent why you're willing to pay less. That way they're not like, oh, whoa. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe, okay, fair point, okay. And then it's easier to talk to the seller saying, hey, look, they're only willing to pay this much because it's going to cost this much to do. That way you're not just trying to lowball somebody, you're actually coming in with some evidence of why they should accept your offer. Especially when there's a lot of houses on the market. Right now it's a little harder. But for other markets, it's a good idea. They thought it was rude and would offend the sellers, but I really didn't think the agent wanted to work that hard. So they did nothing and went looking for a better deal. No offers were ever made, and the person is still looking for the right deal at the right price. Well, you don't know what the right price is until you have a second party who wants to deal. Most sellers ask too much. It is rare that the seller asks a price that is less than something is worth. Moral of the story, make offers. People who are not invested have no idea what it feels like to try to sell something. I have had a piece of real estate that I wanted to sell for months. I would have welcomed any offer. They could have offered me 10 pigs and I would have been happy. Not at the offer, but just because someone was interested. I would have countered maybe for a pig farming exchange, but that's how the game works. The game of buying and selling is fun. Keep that in mind, it's only fun and only a game. Make offers. Someone might say yes. Yeah, and that's what I think as well. Throw as many darts at the board and see what sticks, right? In a normal market, but like I was being asked to put an offer of $60,000 on a $100,000 for-lease property in Puyallup, and I contacted the listing agent, and she said, no, we have an offer coming in, full price, 70% is cash, and so my buyer wanted to put 60% of asking price as cash, without putting any more for financing. Of course she lost the deal, but in a normal market when there was no other offers on the table, I would have definitely put in a $60,000 offer for a $100,000 property. It never hurts, and they can always counter. It's just the market. I always make offers with escape clauses. In real estate, I make an offer with language that details subject to contingencies such as the approval of a business partner. Never specify who the business partner is. Most people don't know that my partner is my cat. Oh, that's cheap. That's clever though. If they accept the offer and I don't want the deal, I call home and speak to my cat. I make the sound ridiculous statement to illustrate how absurdly easy and simple the game is. So many people make things too difficult and take it way too seriously. Yeah, I guess if you second guess, I mean, there's so many ways to, well, if you're doing all cash offers, a little less. I mean, even in this market, like, you can't really put contingencies. Like, even at home inspecting contingencies somehow seen as a big red flag. Like, oh, you want to inspect my home? Oh my God. So, these are great ideas when the market is less than what it is right now. I love that though. Or as a cat, call home, talk to the cat. Finding a good deal, the right business, the right people, the right investors, and whatever it is just like dating. You must go to the market and talk to a lot of people, make a lot of offers, counter offers, negotiate, reject, and accept. I know single people who sit at home and wait for their phone to ring, but it's better to go to the market, even if it's just only the supermarket. Search, offer, reject, negotiate, and accept are all parts of the process of almost everything in life. Jog, walk, or drive a certain area for a month for 10 minutes. Once a month for 10 minutes. I've found some of my best real estate investments doing this. I will jog a certain neighborhood for a year and look for change. For there to be profit in a deal, there must be two elements, a bargain and change. There are lots of bargains, but it's change that turns a bargain into a profitable opportunity. So when I jog a neighborhood I might like to invest in. It is the repetition that causes me to notice slight differences. I notice real estate signs that are up for a long time. That means the seller might be agreeable to a deal. I watch for moving trucks going in or out. I stop and talk to the drivers. I talk to postal carriers. It's amazing how much information they acquire about an area. I find a bad area, especially an area that the news has scared everyone away from. I drive it for sometimes at a year, waiting for signs of some things to change for the better. I talk to retailers, especially new ones, and find out why they're moving in. It only takes a few minutes a month, and I do it while I'm doing something else, like exercising or going from store to store. That's why I bought my place in Tacoma, because Tacoma was, Seattle is really landlocked, so there's not really much room to grow, and Tacoma has a lot of room to grow. The thing about Tacoma, it really lacks Class A office buildings, which is why a lot of tech workers or tech companies aren't going there, because they lack the infrastructure, and a lot of the building stock is dated. So, but as everything keeps exploding in Seattle and the east side, eventually it'll come down to Tacoma. It's just patience, right? But yeah, that's especially true. Find a place you want to live, and then have it be convenient. If you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go commute for an hour to jog a neighborhood, you're never gonna do that. Do someplace local, right? Shop for bargains in all markets. Consumers will always be poor. When the supermarket has a sale, say on toilet paper, the consumer runs in and stocks up. But when the housing or stock market has a sale, most often they call it a crash or a correction. The same consumer often runs away from it. When the supermarket raises its prices, the consumer shops somewhere else. But when the housing or the stock market raises their prices, the same consumer often rushes in and starts buying. Always remember, profits are made in the buying, not the selling. Yeah. Look in the right places. A neighbor bought a condominium for $100,000. I bought the identical condo next door for $50,000. He told me he's waiting for the price to go up. I told him that profit is made when you buy, not when you sell. He shopped with a real estate broker who owns no property of her own. I shopped at a foreclosure auction. I paid $500 for a class on how to do this. My neighbor thought that the $500 for a real estate investment class was too expensive. He said he could not afford the money or the time, so he waits for the price to go up. Yeah, you can look at all you want in the auction.com right now, or the XOME, Zome, or whatever you pronounce it, XOME. There's not a lot of properties on the REO market right now. It's a great strategy if you're looking for a deal and the market's normal, but not at the moment. Nobody's being foreclosed upon because everybody's built equity out of thin air because the market's gone up so substantially. Look for people who want to buy first, then look for someone who wants to sell. A friend was looking for a certain piece of land. He had money but did not have time. I found a large piece of land, larger than my friend wanted to buy, tied it up with an option. Called my friend, and he said he wanted a piece of it. So I sold him the piece of land and then bought the land. I kept the remaining land as mine for free. Moral of the story: buy the pie, cut into pieces. Most people look for what they can afford, so they look too small. They buy only a piece of the pie, so they end up paying less for more. Small thinkers don't get big breaks. If you want to get richer, think big. Think big. Retailers love giving volume discounts simply because most business people love big spenders. So even if you're small, you can always think big. When my company was in the market for computers, I called several friends and asked them if they were ready to buy. We then went to different dealers and negotiated a great deal because we want to buy so many. I have done the same with stocks. Small people remain small because they think and act small, act alone, or don't act at all. Learn from history. All the big companies and all the stock exchanges started out as small companies. Colonel Sanders did not get rich until he lost everything in his 60s. Bill Gates was one of the richest men in the world before he was 30. Really, geez. Last point. Action always beats inaction. And that's something that needs to be driven home in my constant finding something else to do instead of doing action, like doing this. Here we go. Action always beats inaction. So these are just a few things I've done to continue and recognize the opportunities. The important words are have done and do. As repeated many times throughout the book, you must take action before you can receive financial rewards. Act now. It was interesting. I was watching his property manager and him talk about them going to a Dallas conference, and basically there were three guys there that were talking. One used to work at the Dallas Fed, and how essentially the Fed is completely worthless, and they're like the Wizard of Oz. They're completely naked behind the curtain, and basically the shadow banking system right now is collapsing, which is essentially all the money outside the U.S. because when we do trade with China, we pay them in dollars, we don't pay them in yuan. Basically, a lot of the stuff that goes behind the scenes that we can't see or control is, in their words, collapsing. I can link that video below. By the time you watch this, I don't know if it's going to be relevant, but so they're expecting another depression. So expected to collapse 2 years ago too, so you never know. But they're saying to their fellow people, hang tight. There's going to be some opportunities to buy for the bank soon. Right. So anyway, that was it for chapter 9. I think it's pretty straightforward. Let's just do the additional questions since there's no... now it's time, okay. It's pretty short here. Oh, for me, sorry. Sorry, this is the chapter summary. Cue the music. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Quick and dirty here. Does this to-do list inspire or intimidate you? So let's just read the headlines here. In the summary, stop doing what you're doing. Take a break and assess what you're doing. I did that, and that's why I switched careers. So hopefully what I'm doing now is aligning with what I want to do, is essentially buy more real estate at deals and discounts and make money in my asset column. So, okay, it's in the works. Look for new ideas. Okay, that's why I'm reading all these books. Find someone who's done what you want to do. Take them to lunch and ask them for tricks. I have yet to do that. I need to do that. I'll get to it. Take classes, read, and attend seminars. Most of them is on YouTube now for free, so I'm doing that all the time. And with the whole COVID thing, I'm not going to go to seminar for a while. In the future, I will. Make lots. Plus, I have a wife with toddlers. I can't essentially leave my town, so I don't want to leave her stuck. Make lots of offers. I will do that once the market's corrected and I have some money to make offers with. Even if you're doing the subject to and you're like, you don't need any cash, it's like, well, first of all, if they agree, you still need to be able to pay them monthly until you get a tenant. And if they're selling a place for cheap, chances are you get to repair it. It means you have to holding costs and you have to repair it. And those are also expenses. So it's not as cash free as they make it sound. Jog, walk, or drive a certain area once a month for 10 minutes. I live in a far less dense area than Kiyosaki does, and I have a pretty good. I mean, I guess as a real estate agent, you go to these places pretty regularly, so it's nice to take time out of your day to actually go to these places. Ooh, Google Street View. Maybe they'll see me in the Street View of Windermere talking. Okay. Shop for bargains in all markets. Yeah. Okay, so every market, right? Real estate, stock market. Look for the right places. Foreclosure deals, okay. I've already bought foreclosures, multiple of them. Look for people who want to buy first and look for someone who wants to sell. So essentially like wholesaling, right? So he used his friend to wholesale something and then he took a part of it. Don't quite have anybody that wants to do that yet. Think big. Give deals and discounts on volume. I'm not at that point just yet. It's a little harder for me to wrap my mind around. Learn from history. Is that investing in small companies? I mean, I guess so, yeah. Oh, action always beats inaction. But you're betting on a lot of horses, and hopefully one of them does. And even Bezos said that Amazon won't remain at the top forever. Like, it's just inevitable until another company comes along. So find that company, I guess. Keep your feelers out. Action always beats inaction. 100% true. All right. Number 2 question. What actions are you already taking? Okay. Went through that. After reading the list, which item jumps at you as something you haven't fully considered or utilized? Taking more action. What steps can you take to put in action into your life? Money. Honestly.